everyone, and welcome back to another Sims video. It is the last part of our teen a day challenge because I did not do them one a day. I did them numbers at a time that aren't even because I don't know how to do math. Up first, we have our skater boy. To be completely honest, as much as I've been complaining about not knowing what to do for these Sims, this was one of the easiest Sims that I had. And I think I honestly took inspiration of, like, Jay and Silent Bob, but, like, obviously specifically Jay. I also took inspiration from what I would have done if I did a male sim for our pothead sim from last time. I honestly took inspiration for what I would have done if I chose to do a male for that one. Like, but it's literally all I did that he's just... But that's because sometimes to me, skateboarders... Wait, I don't know. Did I say that this is a skater boy? Either way. I don't know. To me, sometimes skater boys and, like, potheads are kind of synonymous. Sometimes. That again, it's just the product of where I grew up. So I gave him, like, this longer, shaggy hair. To be completely honest, I was also just kind of inspired by Shaggy himself. The Scooby-Doo one, not the singer. But I was also just kind of inspired by, like, any of, like, those 90s movies of the dude that just works at the convenience store, if that makes sense. I guess what I'm just trying to say is I actually had inspiration for this one, whereas, like, a lot of the other ones were just kind of confusing to me, I think. But basically, you just wanted him to look, like, tired. He doesn't really care too much. Doesn't really care too much about his appearance. I had to give him the scraggly little weird mustache. It fit too well. And as you're seeing, I do try to make sure that some of my teens have acne, and some of the ones just make the most sense to have it. I know acne isn't synonymous to lifestyle, but it does happen a lot more if you're not clean, if that makes sense. So, like, I think my inspiration for him was not only, like, pothead, but also, like, slob. I kind of just mixed a lot of inspirations from, like, a lot of other Sims that I've made, I guess. Clothing-wise, I basically just wanted to give him, like, a graphic tee and just lazy pants, which I did. And then I had to give those, like, flat skateboarder shoes. It worked, okay? I really wish that I had, like, the skateboarder sneakers, but for some reason Sims hasn't made those, and I'm honestly kind of surprised they haven't. It's whatever, I guess. Up next we have our class clown. I think I just wanted to just make him look really cheeky, because that's the only way that I could, like, do this, is I'm like, what the fuck does a class clown look like? And then I'm like, well, what if he looks cheeky, but also, like, he looks like someone that would get bullied? Why? Because if you ever hear about people that are class clowns, most class clowns were class clowns, drunk every time I say class clowns, were that because they were getting bullied, and the only way that they could stop themselves from being bullied was to make them laugh. They can't hit you if they're laughing, you know? So that's kind of where I went with him, because it was the only kind of lead that I had when it came to this prompt. Because, again, like I said, as cool as this challenge is, there are just some... I don't know if I'm just too basic to get it. But, like, a lot of these were just, like, really hard, because I'm like, what the fuck? Because some of them, to me, seemed more like personalities than, like, dress styles, but... you know, I just don't know how to voice over these things. I'm just, you know, what else can I say other than, like, I was confused for a majority of this challenge. I tried really hard, but, you know, sometimes you just, you know, I don't know sometimes, but I basically was just trying to make him look like he would get bullied, but also, like, try to be cool enough Because, like, I was inspired by two different things. The class clown that either gets bullied, or the class clown that is, like, part of the popular kids and is doing it because he's not going to get in trouble. You know, so I kind of just mixed the two, I guess. Our next one is a geek, and to be completely honest, this is I just keep making excuses for myself the entire time. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying that a lot of these prompts were just very similar in my eyes. So, like, I was having a hard time distinguishing geek from, like, gamer, you know? Obviously, they are two different things. But in my head, they kind of still dress the same. Which is why I leaned more feminine for this sim, because when we did our gamer, he was masculine. So I figured, I'm like, they're really almost identical, so the only way I can separate them is just by, like, swapping clothing style, like, feminine versus masculine. Which, it feels cheaty, but I also, like I said, a lot of these just kind of are overlapping. Like, this sim that I'm making right now, I feel like could be a teacher's pet. And it could be valedictorian. Valedictorian. And even try hard if you really wanted to. But I ended up getting her just, like, you know, the classic movies of, you know, the girl being the geek, and then the quarterback guy, like, having to get partnered with her because they have to work on a project and they fall in love with each other. This is take your glasses off and then you'll be hot. To me. So, and then I wasn't sure what to do with pants. I didn't know if I wanted to be cool about it, give her colored pants. I don't know. I'm telling you, a lot of these were overlapping. I did not know what to do, okay? But it's fine. Our next sim is a future Olympian, which I basically just took as a gymnast. Or, like, a sports star. Because a lot of people that go into sports are looking to go professional. Sometimes. I don't know. What is a sport? I was never really into sports in high school. I'm not into sports now. The only sport I like is baseball. Because I grew up around it and I understand it. And then sometimes hockey, but that's because hockey fights are funny. But basically, I think my only inspiration with this sim was to basically just look like she has her head on her shoulders, make her look serious, and then give her athletic wear. Like, I don't. But do you know what I mean though? That, like, yeah, some of these prompts I would have probably worded differently, because I literally would have just said, like, gymnast or, like, sports. Yes, you had a quarterback, but quarterback specifies, like, what kind of sport. It specifically specifies football. Athlete! That's the word I was looking for. Fun fact. Sports star. Athlete. Yeah, I'm surprised, like, athlete wasn't on here. I think athlete makes more sense than Olympian. Future Olympian. But they kind of mean the same thing. But I'm actually kind of glad that it was future Olympian, because athlete versus Olympian, to me, is ambition. The difference between the two is ambition, which is why I made her look more like she had her head on her shoulders. And it's not that I gave her sportswear. I kind of specifically, like, gave her, like, sporty loungewear, like something that she'd wear so that she can easily change out of it after class to wear her uniform. And that's pretty much it. Like, just laid back clothing, but, like, head on her shoulders. Not laid back. She's not laid back. It's more relaxed. Leisure wear. I don't know. This next sim is our activist. Basically, the way that I kind of been making the sims, if you notice, is unless I have a specific idea for not like gender, but like gender expression, I'll just use what the sim gives me. And I actually really liked him, and I liked his nose because I tend to, the way that I make sims is I kind of just deal with what I'm randomized, and then I just tweak it to how I would like to see it. And a lot of sims, if you've noticed, even specifically females, like female presenting sims, all spawn in with like this super tiny nose. And as someone with a quote unquote bigger nose, I really appreciate it, but I always, like, I appreciate when the males spawn in with bigger noses, but, like, I wish it would happen a little bit more with females, because you don't see it as often. And the last one, I was confused for a second, like, what is happening on screen? Is whatever you were in high school. So I chose to just straight up grab my sim self, tweak it a little bit, because it's not as perfect as I wanted it to be. Because I did make it quite a while ago. Yes, I am pretty pale. I don't know if I'm that pale, but I am quite pale. This is me now, so this is me kind of going back to what I looked like as a teen. I did lighten my eyebrows because, I was not really wearing much makeup at this point. I don't wear really any makeup now, but I definitely wasn't then. Well, I actually was more, but I wasn't filling in my eyebrows because my eyebrows are quite light compared to my hair. My hair isn't dyed, it's just my eyebrows are really light to the point that people think my hair is dyed because my roots are also really light. Bro, I don't know. I in high school was a accidental theater kid and a choir kid. Choir kid was on purpose. I was in choir since the 3rd grade. And accidental theater kid because I don't know if any of y'all's high schools are like this, where you get to pick electives, but freshmen are first come, first serve, so you have to pick like 3 and they'll hopefully get you into them. I had 3 down. They were all really popular, so they put me into my least popular choice, and then they just picked another one. The one that they picked was theater, and I'm like, how do y'all not know what to put me in? They're like, well, you're in choir, you should love theater. I'm like, I'm in choir because I don't like taking solos. I like being in the background, my guy. I do not want to be noticed. Basically my hair was a lot longer. It was a lot longer than what it is in this video because I do not have a hair long enough. My hair was like almost down to my ass. And it was ombre from brown at the root to black at the bottom, and I couldn't replicate that here. But this shirt and jacket is something I have and had and would wear all the time. And I wore skinny jeans all the time. I didn't really have the ripped holes ones yet, but none of the other ones were giving me the style that I wanted. And I would wear these brown boots all the time. This is literally almost me to a T. And then here I am putting in hoops because whenever I would wear earrings, which wasn't a lot, I would always wear hoops. And I still do, but I don't really wear earrings that often, but my go-tos are still hoops, but I used to wear them a lot more in high school. But yeah, I ended up going for this other one, but the issue being that I only have one hole pierced. I don't have anything else pierced. But that is the end of our Teen a Day challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button. You can turn on notifications if you want. It would help me out, but I don't. This is okay. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!